Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to be playing another game of Total War Warhammer today, another multiplayer battle. Now first up, before we get in there, I just want to say a few things. I played a couple more Dwarf battles, and I do like the Dwarfs on the campaign, but I think they're a little underpowered in multiplayer battle for a few reasons. So I lost a couple more games that I'm not going to post up. And some of the main things that I noticed when I lost were the Dwarves are balanced around upgrades in the campaign, which means that they have a lot of skills in the red skill tree, and they have a lot of technologies that you can get that increase your starting units, like the Dwarf Warriors, the Quarrelers, and things like that. So that's what makes them viable and really strong and robust in the campaign. But they're just overcosted for what they are in multiplayer battle because you don't have access to those upgrades. It doesn't give you those upgrades with your lords. So that's one major problem that I noticed, is that they seem to be underpowered relative to their cost. Another huge thing is there's no flying lord you can get to help you support your gyrocopters. So in many of these games, they would just send someone like Karl Franz or Leon Kerr or whoever, this massive flying lord, just to run after my gyrocopters, and there's nothing I could do about it. Like, I tried to shoot at them with my Thunderers, I tried to do skirmish mode with the gyrocopters, it didn't matter. They just ran in, killed them all, and ran off the map. So that's a major problem, is that you don't have a flying lord to help support gyrocopters. And gyrocopters are really the background, or the backbone, rather, of the dwarf army. Like, they're very, very important, because the dwarves don't have anything else that can flank and that can get to artillery, can run units down. So the gyrocopters are really it. And so the fact that the enemy gets to start off with a legendary lord that's like max level with all the skills and has their, super flying mount in multiplayer really, really hurts gyrocopter gameplay. On the campaign map, of course, a lot of those armies, when you get gyrocopters, aren't going to have that type of major advantage over you. So, also, no flanking. I mean, these are standard dwarven things, but these are even more important in multiplayer because human players are going to be very smart. They're going to flank around. They're not going to engage you, usually, unless they have to. So, the games that I posted were stomps because those people just charged right into me in the corner of the map. But a more savvy opponent is going to hang back and just pick off units, either with artillery, usually with artillery or with a legendary lord. So, and the dwarven artillery is not as good as some of the other artillery, particularly Empire. So you can't sit there and have artillery fights with them, usually. You don't have magic, so you can't take advantage of that. And smart enemies, as I said, can dictate the fight with the dwarves. So they don't have to follow me into that corner to fight me. And if the dwarves aren't fighting in a corner, it's a huge problem because they can get flanked so easily. So I think they might be a little underpowered for multiplayer. If you guys want to see me try to fight some more and figure out some good solutions, I will. Or if you have some advice in the comments, by all means, leave them. But I think I'm going to try out some other races. And I think it's good just to get some variety in there as well. So I'm going to try some vampire counts out. I think objectively they might be the strongest in this patch, but maybe not. I feel like Empire, Orcs, or Greenskins rather, and vampire counts are all pretty competitive in multiplayer. I feel like the Chaos less so, and the Dwarves a little bit less so. Now, I don't know about the Bretonnians. The jury's kind of out on them. I haven't played or seen them enough, but let's go ahead and get in here and do another quick battle. Turn down my volume. Hopefully I'm not yelling too much here. Okay, let's do quick battle. You can kind of sleaze people too in these quick battles. You can change your army up at the last second to something that's pre-made, and you can make them think you're going to do something else. And you can press the timer right away to force them to struggle to come up with their composition. I don't want to do that. I just want to give people a fair chance. Just like the campaign, I don't want to do exploits. I don't want to be sleazy. I just want to try to have a fair chance. So, sort of in summation of what I said before, I think the game is balanced around the campaign and not multiplayer. So there are definitely some imbalanced things in multiplayer. I don't think it's designed to be a multiplayer game. They should just have different unit stats or something for multiplayer. I don't really know how that would work. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dumpster that. And I have a preloaded Vampire Counts army. Okay, so what I'm thinking here with this composition, Manfred with the Flying Mount is pretty much a must. I tried tinkering around with this Vampire Lord because he gets a shield, and Manfred doesn't get a shield. But once you put on the super flying mount, then the shield doesn't really matter as much. That is to say, sorry, you don't get a shield when you get the zombie dragon, and I want the zombie dragon because he has that aura that gives you the -8 attack power for everything that's in range. So I want that aura. I just want to keep him away from halberdiers. That's the main thing. And then just kind of a decent front line here. The Cairn Wraiths will help crack through armor and cause a little bit of terror. So if they try to charge at me with Knights of the Realm or something, my plan is to throw some zombies into it first, and then have the Cairn Wraiths come in, lock them up, and then we'll have the Blood Knights come in to finish them up. Hopefully. I don't want to spam too many Crypt Horrors too. I think in professional, in quotes, I don't guess there's a real professional scene for this, but I think in serious matches they limit you to 4 Crypt Horrors. At least that's what I saw in some online battles. So I would like to try to honor that and not just abuse the Crypt Lords too much. They are very strong, but try out some Blood Knights also. I haven't tried them yet. They are very, very expensive. They're 1,700, but they're just like off the charts powerful against other large units. Like I think they can beat up Demigryphs. We'll see. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this. So our game plan is just going to be to walk towards them, try not to get flanked too much. So then we'll make these guys our 2. These guys will be kind of our special ops. Actually, we'll make them 3. Put them on the same wavelength as the raids. Probably going to use them for similar purposes. And then we'll put the bats out here just to scout and tie up any artillery that they have. So they probably are going to have artillery and make me come to them. That's my suspicion. So I would want to lead with the Crypt Horrors if they do that, just because they regenerate any artillery hits. Over here. Here. We'll come over here. Okay. So we'll see. I want to try out these Cairn Wraiths too. So I speculated in the campaign that they may not have unit collision, and that would be really cool because they're ethereal. It would add some nice extra whatever strategic value to them, but I think they do have unit collision. The Banshee is very easy to slip in and out of combat though, more so than other lords. So alright, let's go. So we're gonna have to advance. Let's go ahead and just scout them out, see what they have going on over here. I think there's some kind of matchmaking system too. I'm not really sure. Once again, I want to send these guys out in case they have artillery. Now, I assume they're probably trying to flank me with some kind of cavalry or something, because I don't see much of an army there. So they're probably in these woods, I would guess. What? Slayers. Oh, did they switch? They switched to dwarves at the last second? What? I thought they were Bretonnians. Did I see something wrong? Okay, so what do they have here? Runesmiths, a lot of Slayers, Iron Breakers, Iron Breakers, Iron Breakers. Okay, so they switched at the last second. Cute. Alright. Okay, so we want to tie them up with our core units. We want to keep the Slayers away from our away from anything that's large. Now, I don't want to cheese them and snipe their lord or anything like that. I just want to keep an eye. Let's just make sure there's nothing sneaky going on over here. A bit of scouting. So I just want to tie them up with the zombies and the grave guard up front, and then flank around the back with my main guy here. And charge him in the back with the Blood Knights. Now, as soon as we get a nice line of grave guard coming in here, now they want this high ground, so I don't want to give them the high ground. I'm just trying to scare them a little bit. Okay, so they used something, I think. So I want to make sure I get on this high ground also. So they might be trying to... What are they doing? So we're about to get a surround here, I think. Are they trying to shoot me with something? I don't really know what. Alright, zombies, get on in there. I just have to watch Manfred. Alright. Okay, so we want to just double tap the regeneration. Pop that. I need to get these out of here. They're dying. Okay, so we're regenning a little bit here. I don't know. Just sent them up there. So we can charge back in, I think. Let's go ahead and recharge the Blood Knights. And with Manfred. I guess we go ahead and throw some dance here. Just to use a little bit more. Okay, so my guys did regenerate up quite a lot, those Cairn Wraiths. Okay, so we're almost able to throw another to heck in here. Go ahead and get out of here. Charge a little bit more. Alright, get all the way out here, come on. Charge back in there. Let's get them out. See, so they're not quite able to totally run through units, but I feel like they slip through units pretty well, like better than other classes. So it's not quite full, like run through, but so yeah, just that regeneration is so strong. How are we looking on? We don't have a lot of mana left. Oh, they're gonna go. Yeah, they're done. That's all right. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and get around this way. It seems like they have formed kind of a little wall here on the outside, I think. I can't really tell. Okay, they're starting to aim for Manfred, so I'm gonna back up a little bit here. Get out, Manfred, get out. Yeah, we just want Manfred out of there for a little bit. Get over here and flank this side. So they are completely surrounded. Let's see if, there's got to be a way to get a better surround going here. Okay, yeah, they're done. Yeah. Okay, so that was a very unusual dwarf army. So yeah, he was trying to cheese me a little bit there, I think. Because it looked like he was Bretonia, unless there was just some kind of glitch. I don't know. So we lost the bats, we lost the Cairn Wraiths, but overall it was pretty good. So that was not your typical army. I don't really think this guy knew what was what's going on. He had 3 Runesmiths. I mean, those are good, but they were completely surrounded by units, and I could just spam regeneration, and half of the units regenerated anyways. So the best performing units you could see were these Blood Knights. They killed so many units. Even though they didn't have anything large, they were still just destroying things because of that massive charge bonus. So their Slayers did some decent work. But yeah, Blood Knights ended up being really, really strong, and these Cryptors were pretty decent. These guys are just kind of holding the line. Manfred himself did quite a lot of work. I got him too far in there. I need to watch the Lords a little bit better and try to keep them on the periphery. But they just love to charge right in the middle of the whole thing. So the Wraiths didn't really do that much. I thought maybe they would kill more, but they were a bit of a disappointment. Now, they do cause terror, technically, but I know these guys are immune to, or they're unbreakable, or they're immune to psychology, all that kind of stuff, I think. But yeah, not much to it. This was just an unorthodox army. I think that a normal dwarf army might do better. Yeah, like I said, I think we had a pretty good lineup for just about anything that was coming our way. The Bretonnians, like I said, I had these Cairn Wraiths primarily to try to deal with Knights of the Realm, just to soak the charge with the zombies, go in with the Cairn Wraiths, and then flank around with the Blood Knights. That was kind of the plan. And this is just your strong backbone frontline units. And then these guys are just really good meat shields. As long as you don't run them into halberdiers or anything like that, they're very strong as well. So I think this is a pretty good standard undead army that could be strong. And then I really like just using the magic on... the regeneration. So maybe these Runesmiths reduce the amount of magic I could use. I know you can learn that in the campaign map, but I'm not sure if you get that for multiplayer. Once again, that's a disadvantage of the Dwarves. So on the campaign map, you can use the Runesmith skills to limit or to lower the amount of magic that enemies can use. It lowers the recharge rate by quite a lot. But I felt like I got off 3 or 4 overcasted heals, and if all my units are clumped up like that, that means every single one of these units gets to heal a zillion health. So that's why he lost. It's because I just completely surrounded him. And that was it. I mean, that's the problem with the Dwarves, right? So, like I was talking about before, if they get out of the corner, if they're able to get surrounded like that, it's really hard to deal with vampires because they can regenerate. It's really hard to deal with other factions for various reasons. So, I love the Dwarves. I want to be clear about that. I love them in the campaign. I just think that they're currently balanced around the buffs they get in the campaign, and that doesn't really shine through in multiplayer. So, I think they should at least give them the Axe Lord skill. Of course, I guess if you gave them Axe Lord, you would have to give everybody else their skills as well. I don't know how they could balance it, but... it just feels like the balance... I mean, it's a single-player, campaign-driven game, and you can play it multiplayer, which is okay. But I think there would need to be a lot more development into multiplayer, and maybe they'll do that in the future. I mean, I think it's a really cool idea to have a strategy game. So it's kind of like StarCraft in a sense, where you get specific units, but you don't have the resources. And you're not really fighting over specific strategic locations either. So that makes stalemates and sort of weird situations possible. I'm just not sure if you could make it like a serious ranked type of thing. It could probably be done, but I will still keep doing them. They are lots of fun. I do get to showcase different strategies, and I get to showcase just sort of my insights into some of those higher tier units as well. We're starting to get the higher tier units in the campaigns, but you can just sort of get my thoughts on them. Blood Knights, very, very strong. I think you have to have at least one of them. I mean, 1,700 gold is a lot, but my goodness, are they strong. They are very, very strong. They're like basically the demigryphs for undead. So I think they're exceptionally strong. But thank you very much for tuning in. Please check out the other multiplayer battles that I'm going to have online as well. I'm also going to... I also do have campaigns going. I'm going to try to release an episode for each campaign every day. Unless I'm out of town for the weekend, I'll let you guys know if that's going to happen. I'll try to release a couple of videos in advance. And yeah, I'm doing some education content as well. Right now we have up part 1 as to how to write a good research paper, and we also have up how to write a better cover letter to get into the university that you want, and to get the kind of job that you want, and a variety of other things. So anyway, I should do new educational content about every week. I'm going to try to produce more of that, but it just takes a lot more production value. I have to do more prep work, prepare notes, prepare examples, just do a lot of things for those videos. So it takes me a bit longer to do those than it does to do the Warhammer content or the League of Legends content that I have. But thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a great time broadcasting for you. It looks like the undead are indeed, or the vampire counts rather, are indeed pretty strong in this patch. So give them a try. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you next episode. Have a wonderful evening.